And so I said, no, wait, I'm part of the synagogue, come down, we learn about Judaism, you like it. And so I met their parents, and they were all enthusiastic, and they came down. And it was just supposed to be the three of us. But little did I know that they were going to say, wait, we have some friends, and they brought them down, and we have a sister, and their friends have some sisters and brothers, and they brought them down. And then I said, oh, what am I going to do with all these people? So it happened to be that I went out with a girl named Robin Sternberg. She used to be Robin Sternberg. We went on one date. It didn't work out. But thank God she's married, and I'm married, we all have kids, everything's good. Anyway, what I wanted to say was that Robin was so incredible. I called her up and I said, listen, I started this program, something's happening, can you come down and help me out? She was very spiritual on the day. And I was like, wow, so it was funny. And volunteers, and they were all involved in all the programming. And we set up learning programming. Hanalei was specifically involved in setting up the curriculum, spent hours on the computer with the curriculum, and they learned Hebrew, read Hebrew, write Hebrew, about Judaism in general. The first time they were exposed to Judaism, I believe, coming here. And then we learned about Holocaust. We took them, we had Holocaust studies. Eva Braun came to, she rest in peace, she came to speak to us about her experiences. We went to museums in Manhattan, Museum of Jewish Heritage, we went to Washington, and we learned about Israel, and then we marched the Israel parade like 15 times. And I want to thank Daniel, Tanima, Emmanuel, Sergi, the Gary family down here, they all helped making the family help make them back. It was really incredible, it put in so much work. And then we had monthly outings, bowling, ice skating, picnics, movies, we did all that stuff. Of course, we had all the holiday, what do you call it, holiday parties, all that stuff. We all had such a great time. And before I continue, there's one person who I must tell you about. And I wish I could have a dinner just for him. I always wanted to, it never worked out. But this guy, I met him at the age of 10. He helped me out with absolutely everything. He was behind absolutely everything. No matter when I called him, it didn't matter. He did everything. He still did everything. I had to borrow his car today. He was ready to come to my house and bring me his car. And I didn't need it. But whatever, it doesn't matter. And Zalman Amito. Everybody who knows the part of the program knows how much Zalman did. And it's so important that recognize that he did. Yeah? And all of our programming was recognized by UJA, United Jewish Appeal, where they gave us a 4-year grant to send close to 100 kids to Israel, 15, 16-year-olds, and where they had the trip of their lifetime for that age. And it really brought them closer to Judaism. And when one trip when we were in Israel, one of these kids had a family member who someone killed by car when he was 2 years old. And unfortunately he was handicapped from the neck down. And so the father told me that I was trying to look for money, the government wouldn't help, because he needed a lift, because he was in Yerushalayim, and there's lots of built on hills, and there's lots of stairs. And he couldn't lift him up anymore, and the son was getting big, he was getting older. And he also needed a higher tech wheelchair because he was getting older and whatever. And so he asked me if I could do something in an organization, whatever it was. So I wanted to see if this guy was legit, you never know, and I wanted to check it all out. It was all good. So I said, let me see what I can do. When I came home, I told everybody in the Talmud Torah, and within a year and a half, they raised $30,000 for this family, and it was a really, really nice thing that we did. And based on all this, I wanted to say that I'm so lucky, so fortunate to meet such incredible kids, now grown up, people. 99% came from the Machane community, and it's such an incredible community, and it's such an incredible immigration. They've done well for themselves. They entered all the medical fields, lawyers, accountants. They opened up businesses. It was good for them. It was good for the United States. It's such an incredible group of people that I'm so proud of you guys. Now, all this couldn't have been done without the inspiration of Rabbi Gans. The first time that Rabbi Gans met the kids at the Talmud Torah it was a month after I started, and there was a Sukkot party. And the rabbi had all his congregation was Sukkot, they were sitting around, and there was music. And then I was with a few of the guys, and I said, and they were shy, they didn't want to enter. And I said, come, let's go in, let's dance with them, and let's make a little bit more joy, do a little joy in there. And we did so. And then when the party was over, and I took everybody home, and I got home, and I listened to my answering machine, and the message I got was from Rabbi Gans, was always appreciative of everything. And he said, Ricky, thank you so much for bringing those kids there and livening up the whole party. And the next day I met him, and I said to him, I said, Rabbi, there are kids coming, but I think there are going to be more kids coming, because it just seemed like every week more kids just seem to just drop by without knowing that they would drop by. And here I am. I heard there's something going on here, so they just drop by. And I said, Rabbi, it's okay that they come. And the funny thing in the Jewish community is that in the Jewish community, that we know that if you're from different cultures in the Jewish community, maybe you're not so accepting of others from your culture, right? We see that in Queens, there's a recent problem from the yeshiva that's about Machane starting together and stuff like that. We know in Israel it's a problem. Rabbi Gans didn't care. He said, Rabbi, the last kids coming, I think. He says, bring them all, bring 100, bring whoever you want, let them come in. So here, a rabbi from Germany, Rabbi Gans originates from Germany, in the heart of Christian Europe, opens up his shul to Jews from Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and the surrounding areas, from the Middle Central Asia, Islamic Central Asia. We welcome them with open arms. It doesn't matter where you're from. We're all Jewish. We're all welcome. And that's what Rabbi Gans did. He opened up the doors to everybody. And not only did he open up the doors to the community, but he also connected to the kids, and the kids connected to him, even though he's 2 generations removed from them. Now let me give you 3 very quick stories that will illustrate this point. The first story was, there was these guys, these teenagers that had to take the regents, and they had to pass, because they were the history regents. So I know they did very well, and they were going to fail it. So we pulled an all-nighter. And we were up there in the classroom, and little did I know that there was an alarm system on the building. And so at 2 in the morning, someone finally had to go to the bathroom. And so he left the room, and there were sensors around, and didn't realize it, and you heard this loud bang. Which I'm surprised the whole neighborhood didn't wake up. And then a little bit after 2 o'clock, you see Rabbi Gans walking down the street with his hat and his suit. And I said, Rabbi, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up, I didn't realize that. Rabbi never got angry. He saw the guys. And one guy even said to him, Rabbi, give me a bracha, I gotta pass this test. He goes, no, you don't need a bracha. You know the material, you study, you know the material, you're all good. And then the rabbi went home. And what did he teach these kids? That things happen, things don't go perfectly, and he never loses his temper, never lost his temper, never said a thing to me again. That's one instance. Another instance was, Rabbi started a davening breakfast for the teenagers. He had to come down, put on his tefillin, and then we come down and have breakfast, and the rabbi would give the bar Torah after every meal, during the meal. And then one of the kids told me that he lent money, $95, to another gift guy. He was 15 years old. And for a 15-year-old kid, that's $95 a lot of money. So he's really upset about it. So I asked Rabbi, please say something about that. So after he gave his Devar Torah and everything like that, he says, so there's somebody here who lent money to somebody. And he said, let me quote Shakespeare for you. And he quoted the famous line, said, when Hamlet was about to leave his house and go out into the world, his father gave him a message. And he said the famous line, neither a lender or a borrower be. And the rabbi said, out of all the pieces of advice a father can give his son when he's about to leave the house and enter the world, why would he give him that piece of advice? The rabbi said, it's because when you lend money, you lose friends. So don't lend money. Now, we know that the Torah says, the rabbi knows, that you're supposed to lend money, you're supposed to help out people who are in need. But the rabbi understood that it's not the place of 15-year-old kids to lend money. It's not their job to lend money. They don't have that type of money to lend. And friendships at that age is very important. So he advised them, even though the Torah says you're supposed to help out someone in need, just don't do it. It doesn't work. And then afterwards, the kid came up to me and said, wow, the rabbi's quoting straight Shakespeare? He gave such great advice. And what this kid told me is that he learned that you can be religious, you can still be involved in the world, be secular, be involved, apply to religious life, and you have both words, you don't do one or the other. And that's what he learned from Rabbi Gans. And the final example I shall give, well, millions of examples, is that there were these two girls that needed to take a very important nursing test. They're very nervous. And they called me up and said, please, can you get Rabbi Gans to give us a bracha because we need to pass this exam? So, on my show, I called the rabbi and said, bring them down, I'll talk to them. They came down, and the rabbi spoke to them for like 10 minutes. And when they came back, they told me, they seemed very relieved. A weight was lifted from their shoulder. And they said, wow, he spoke to us like he was our own grandfather. And they were so happy they knew who he was, but they were so happy to meet him and talk to him. And they really, really felt good about themselves after that meeting. And all this shows that everybody cares about Rabbi Gans. And every time I go on the streets, everybody asks me, how's Rabbi Gans doing? How's Rabbi Gans doing? When I see former students all the time, the first thing they ask me, how's Rabbi Gans doing? How's Rabbi Gans doing? Not only here, when I was in Israel, I was living there for a little while, and it was right before Shabbos, and we were in Or Yehuda, it's the Forest Hill Regal Park of Israel. You know, that's the park. Oh no, Or Yehuda, right? How many of you have a relative in Or Yehuda, right? Anyway, so we stopped off at a Makolet, a little store, and I run and I said, Ricky, and I look around, and I said, what are you doing here? He said, I moved back to Israel. And the first thing he asked me was, how's Rabbi Gans? I said, he's doing well. I said, true story, true story. Then he asked me how I was doing. He said, how's Rabbi Gans doing? Such an impression Rabbi Gans had. And so it's true when I was at a wedding, I said this once before publicly, I was at a wedding, and I was waiting for the couple, we were in Baltimore, and there was a couple who was here, Aggie and Nachum, if anybody remembers them. And they were here, and they moved down to like the Silver Spring area, and they happened to be at the same wedding. And they saw me sitting there, they came up to me and said, hi Ricky, how you doing? I was like, wow, what's up, how you doing? And then Aggie asked me, how's Rabbi Gans doing? And then when she asked me, she said, Rabbi Gans, she put her hand to her chest, and tears started to come down her eyes. And I was thinking, why are tears coming down her eyes? And the reason why is because she loved Rabbi Gans so much, respected him so much, and it was awe of him so much that was like the physical manifestation of what she felt for Rabbi Gans. And it's the same way I feel for Rabbi Gans. And when I was at his house, he told me, he said, Ricky, my computer broke down. So this was like a couple of years ago. And so I went out and I bought him a computer. And then he said, what'd you do that for? He said, go bring it back. I said, no, Rabbi, I know you for 20 years. I never gave you anything. And then the rabbi said, yes, you did. You gave me yourself. And the rabbi thought he was complimenting me. And he was. It really touched me. It was really so sweet. But really, it's a compliment to him. Because who would do anything, go out of their way for anybody, if it's not for their own family? Who would put themselves out there and do anything, give their all for a person that's not part of their extended family? It's only somebody who is so special, but not just special, extraordinary special. And that's Rabbi Gans. And that's why everybody, to end with this, is that by the old Yankee Stadium, there was a famous statement that said, this is the house that Ruth built. So what I want to tell you guys and girls is that every time that you pass by Congregation Machane Chodesh, or you enter the shul, and then you think about all the good times you had, as the speaker was explaining, and all the great things that you did over here, I want you to remember that this is the house that Rabbi Gans built.